Hey everybody, Jim T. Graham, and I'm live again. It seems like I've been live all week. I put up the virtual Joe Nall, and everything just keeps coming. I'm getting texts and emails. There's a reason we're here. I'm going to get to the point in just a second. It's in the lower right-hand corner. But I thought I would build this thing and that I would get on and fly occasionally and do my RCGroups work. But holy smokes, things just keep coming. And so what's happening now is I was reorganizing the site a little bit and listening to the Horizon live broadcast in my earphones. And they said, hey, we got to go. We're going to get on the RCGroups virtual Joe Nall field at 5 with the whole team. And I was like, what? So I typed in the chat, yes. And they were like, Jim, you're on. We're going to be there. So I have had this idea a couple of weeks in a row where I would, well, it goes on in 3 seconds. So let's see if my idea is going to work. We'll know in just a second. I guess I should, well, it's not live yet. So I'm going to try to go live with them, streaming to our YouTube channel with them. And they haven't started yet. So basically what's going to happen is they're going to have team pilots out on the Joe Nall 2020 virtual field. I just restructured, as I said, on RCGroups. So now if you go on the homepage of RCGroups, you can see contests, memories, and I have plans for this. I have a contest going right now. There's a sale going. I have another sale. I'm just waiting for the content to get that up from Gator RC, one of our official virtual Joe Nall 2020 sponsors. And if you want to be a sponsor of Joe Nall 2020, hit me up, shoot me an email or a PM, and I can work with you on that. I have some ideas. This is really what I do best, is sit around and come up with interesting ways to execute things. And so I'm trying to get everything out in front. So when you log onto the site, you'll see it quickly and go, oh, I want to check that out. I want to check that out. And I also created a thread with planes that we have the Extreme Flight planes. We have Jace Ducia's plane. Today, I did an interview with the creator and owner of Real Flight, Jim Burke. We talk about his full-scale planes, and we talk about inside the actual sim itself and building the grounds concepts on doing a night fly. I got a email note last night. I say note because I'm not sure how it came to me in a multitude of ways that people can message me now. But the question was, can we do a night fly at Joe Nall? So I actually have got under the hood and made it so I can do night flies. Oh, here we go. Let me get in here and let me turn it up. So I'm not hearing anything yet, but they just started. And what I'll probably do is go big screen on this. Let's see. Yes, this works. And then I'll make my screen smaller. But I'm not hearing any sound, and I should be hearing sound. This is an experiment live. Why? This was working just 1 second ago. I actually recorded a previous stream. And it should be working. So I met with Jim Burke, and we talked about a lot of different things. And so what will happen is I'll create a feature for that, and we'll go look at it. I wish we had audio, and it might just be that they don't have audio turned on yet because it just went live. I also have our channel over here, so let me refresh. Let's see if we get anything. I'm going to ask them if is audio working. Okay. And then I'm going to go over here and talk to anyone.
Andy, check
there we go.
Right?
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Andy, can you hear me?
Okay. And then I'm going to go over here and talk to anyone.
Andy, check
there. All right, so I guess I won't use my headphones. I'm trying to get the headphones to work. But
well, I hear you. We're live, guys. Thanks for joining. For those of you that are just joining, we had some little technical difficulties here. We'll get flying here in a second. I've not used the StreamYard with Real Flight yet, so bear with us as we get started here. I appreciate you joining in. Andy, can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. See?
Okay, cool. I'm just jumping in. I'm watching the stream on my phone just to double check everything's working right. I'm hoping the screen sharing here hasn't quite caught up with my phone. Yeah, it looks like it's working.
Can you hear me? Okay.
So
Can you hear me?
I'll try to set my phone. I should have charged my phone. That was that just fell off the desk. Okay. Well, guys, I appreciate everyone joining us tonight. On the line, we have Andrew Ziegler from our trade show and events group within the company. Gosh, Andy, you've been with the company for how long now?
Before
Be 14 years and about 11 days. Actually, no, 12 days.
Wow.
Something like that.
That's well, awesome. Well, thanks again, man, for joining us tonight. I know flying isn't your day-to-day thing.
You just wait.
Yeah, just you wait. But I wanted to have you on tonight mainly because we've had some significant changes on the event schedule, and we'll get into that shortly. But also just, kind of think of this like what we do on the podcast. We'll just give a chance for you to talk about yourself. And then as the other guys get in here, hopefully we can and have everyone talking in two. And I know now we have the ability to have all the video chats on, all the video on for the live stream. So it's a little different, probably a little more bandwidth for especially folks like Dustin who just have absolutely awful internet. But for those of you guys watching, we are at the new flying field that RCGroups have developed. This is the best rendition of Joe Nall that I've seen. We're actually down here on the I believe this is the 3D line, I think. Yeah. So, 3D line.
No,
at the Joe Nall map. And this is a free to download map. I got to figure out why I have a little bit of weird ghosting on my airplane. So I'm going to work on that. But for the record, this is not a stock real flight flying field. Jim T. Graham from RCGroups has done an incredible job of trying to recreate that Joe Nall field because no one's able to do Joe Nall this year. So he decided to kind of do a digital version of it, which I think is a super cool attempt. And he's done an amazing job. And I know for those of you that haven't been there, you're kind of like, well, it just looks like a field to me with a bunch of airplanes on it. Well, if you've been to Joe Nall, you kind of know this does, in a way, not exactly, but in a way, look like the flight line on the 3D line. So you do have the tower over here. You've got the main line in the background. You can jump between each area and fly on the main line. You can fly on the 3D line. You can fly on the float line. So it's really cool to see. So we'll get everything going here. Matt, are you in the StreamYard yet with us? Actually, I should check. Hold on one second. I got to make sure I pop him in the stream. Looks like we got Matt.
You got me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, the audio is so much better doing it this way than the other way.
So, no kidding.
This is really going to be helpful. So it looks like you're the only one so far to join in here, but that's okay. You don't need a camera. I'm on my other computer right now, so I don't have a camera. So you get to see Andy's beautiful face the whole time. But yeah, we'll get this better and better, guys, as we go on. So Matt, thanks for joining us. For those of you that don't know Matt Andrin, he's one of our developers at Horizon, and he is Mr. Foam. I need to probably shut my email off so you guys don't see any sweet, sensitive Horizon hobby data. So let me do that.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
So I shut that email off. I think that's pretty good. You shouldn't see anything. Although I don't think it's sharing anything but real flight, but you just never know. So guys, once again, thanks. We are going to be on here for the next hour, just chatting it up. And the main topic of tonight, and I will jump around to different folks. I'm just kind of flying this S-block as we get started. But the main topic of tonight is our signature event series. And we've obviously, with everything going on in the world, we've had to make some significant changes to various events. And those events that we kind of call our signature events are Axial Fest, which is surface event, both in the Badlands in Indiana and at Donner Ski Ranch. Also RC Fest, which is our premier or pinnacle event here in Monticello at our Eli Field. And then also Air Meet, which is our really, really cool EU event in Donauwörth, Germany. That will be a little bit different this year as well, in spite of everything going on. So we made a video. Andy and I made a video yesterday about all the changes, but we figured, hey, why don't we just do some flying after hours, talk about some stuff, take some questions, and then talk about that as well. So in the meantime, enjoy some flying, some of my relatively intermediate flying here on the test box, and we'll jump over to Andy. Andy, I'm just going to go ahead and crash this airplane. Actually, you know what? I'll land it appropriately. Hold on. I'll do a little flat spin, and there we go. I landed it. Mostly
So,
Andy, yeah.
the fact that you want me to try to fly and talk about something in the
I
same
was just
time,
doing a moderate 3D routine.
yeah, but you fly planes. I really don't. It's been a long time.
Are you?
So if you switch over to my screen, Steve, you'll see that my plane
Where are you?
has crashed back over by the hangar.
Oh,
If
you know what?
switch to
You
my
need to
screen.
be on the same flight line as us. I don't think I see you over here. I'm only seeing Matt, Justin, and me. For some reason, I don't see you.
He needs to hit
Well, right
the
now
X
I'm
button.
crashed into the hangar back behind us, but let me reset here.
Okay.
And
For some reason, I'm not. You can see us, right? We can. Let me just make sure you're in here. You look at.
I'm flying right
I don't
now.
see. I don't
taking
see
off
you
from the
in.
main line.
Are you sure you're in our server? Do you see us?
I see Dustin's flying around. Matt's on the ground. You're sitting over by the
Weird.
tanker.
I'm not. I am in. Well, I'm kind of in front of everything. That's weird. Well, that's okay, Andy. You know what? I don't know where your plane is at. I can't see you. I actually don't see you in the server right now.
He's probably on my server.
I have an updated version of Real Flight, and it's not showing you in here. But I don't. Matt, do you see him in here? I see Matt.
He's in my server. I'm gonna go talk to him.
I'm flying straight down the main line here.
Weird. Okay, well, that's unfortunate.
I see you sitting. I'm gonna go crash my plane right on top of yours.
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing his name in here, so let me go see if I can find him.
He's not.
Maybe
I literally just crashed right on top of you. Matt is flying over us right now.
Maybe
so
I download like the funky map? Oh well.
No.
I'm changing locations. Let me go back.
Yeah, I see all you guys. Matt's about to fly into my face.
All right. Well, anyway, you know what? I'm just gonna get back to the 3D line.
No.
I will fly for a bit. Andy, you might be off the hook for this stream. No one gets to see you fly.
All right.
Because
I'll
figure it out. Yeah. So give us
an
update on what's going on with the signature event series as I fly. And guys in the chat, I don't have the comments on screen like I have in previous weeks because I have to jump screen. So I have my phone up. It's low because I've been on it for work all day. Oh, it's at 1%. I'm gonna plug my phone in. And Andy, you go ahead and talk. I'm just gonna go ahead and land here. So Andy, go ahead and talk about signature events while I plug my phone in so I can read comments. Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to try to relog into the server there because I've been practicing actually. So it's actually looking pretty good at what I've been able to do. So
I definitely don't want to let you down.
If not, it's not really a big deal because I plan on crashing quite a few times anyway. So
that's okay.
Whatever. So yeah, Steve said we've had to make some pretty difficult decisions on having to change dates and actually make some cancellations. And by no means this is not what we wanted to do, but unfortunately, with the state of things are all around the globe, we really have no choice in the matter. Kind of starting off with the first signature event would be Horizon RC Fest, which was originally scheduled for mid-June. We are now going to move that out until October 2nd and 3rd. We hope by pushing it that far, things will start to clear up a little bit. Here in the state of Illinois, we've got a phase plan just like everybody else, I believe, has. No dates associated with that whatsoever, so it's kind of like have to wait and see. So we push it out far enough to where the weather hopefully still won't be a factor. It could be a little chilly, but it also could be pretty warm that time of the year. But hopefully trying to push it out past there and still be able to have it. We're going to make some slight changes to the event, nothing major, just to kind of adapt it to that time of the year and what's going on, and kind of play it by ear. We don't have all the specifics and details nailed down just yet, but we will we'll have those hopefully soon. It's still going to be a great fly-in. We're still going to be doing tri-me's. We're going to have RC car surface race going on. All that cool stuff, a big hobby shop with great discounts and just all the cool stuff that makes RC still going to happen. Yeah.
I think it's as odd as it's going to be, we'll definitely have the most fun we can possibly have. And I really believe, the date change is going to obviously affect some people. But with all these events, it's really going to allow us to just get out there and have some fun. Hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing crazy else happens this year. I think we've had our fair share of craziness. But yeah, that's it's definitely gonna. I know you're working on ways to change things up given the scenario, and also ways we can change things up for the better, but also change things up in order to kind of just keep things easy for the event team and yourself to a degree, but all the while still having a great event. Oh, Andy, I see you finally. You're in here.
Am I in there now?
Yeah, I see you flying the X Cub. Okay, let me go.
I tried to pick the biggest, easiest flying thing possible.
Crash this plane, jumped. Okay, you are
Oh,
center, my friend.
All right, so now I have to fly and talk. So if I'm not looking at the camera, my bigger screen.
No, you don't have to look at the camera. I'm going to be monitoring the comments. So keep going. I kind of interrupted you there, but now keep walking through the rest of the events.
All right, so we'll jump to the next, and that's the Axial Fest, and this one is kind of near and dear to my heart. I took over Axial Fest last year, and had some really big shoes to fill. Coming off of the previous event, and we pulled it off last year at a new location. We had to switch the date due to weather because of the extreme amount of snowfall that they had at Donner Ski Ranch. If we would have held the event when we originally wanted to, we would have been playing in like 3 feet of snow still, and the melt was crazy, so we had to move that out. But this year, due to everything going on, California, another state where they've got the phase plan in place. No dates associated with it. It's all depending on new cases and probably vaccine and all that good stuff. So it's hard to tell when we'd be able to do it. And with it being in the mountains in the Sierra Nevadas, weather is a huge factor. So that event was already scheduled for late July. You move that out anymore, and you're really kind of pushing it with Mother Nature. Last year, about a month after we were there in July, they had a big snowstorm. So and there's tent camping out there. So if you were sleeping in a tent, camping, having a good time, and you get 4 or 5 inches of snow dumped on you in the middle of the night that wasn't expected, that could be kind of a rude awakening, and really not what what you were in for when it came to participation in Axial Fest. While it would be an adventure, it'd be a cold one and wouldn't be all that great of a time. So we've decided that we are going to postpone Axial Fest out of Donner Ski Ranch until 2021, just based on the fact that impossible to move, not sure what's going to go on with events and stuff in California. So we're better off just go ahead and pushing that one out there, and not making any promises that we can't keep on that end. So
sure.
A lot of people are upset about that one. That's one of those events that people look forward to every single year. They wait for us to make those announcements of when it's going to be, and they immediately go to their bosses or supervisors and say, I need this time off, and they plan it and set it as their family vacation. And it's a huge bummer that we've got to cancel it. It just happens to be that this year we were going to add a Midwest version of Axial Fest, and that's Axial Fest Midwest, to be held in Attica, Indiana at the Badlands Off-Road Park. We are going to continue with that event. We're going to push it out to July 16th, 17th, and 18th. It was supposed to be at the end of June, so we're pushing it a few weeks, just kind of hoping more people will be able to join us. We have had some people say they can't make it to the new date because they already had the time off. And unfortunately, we have heard some people say they're not going to be able to attend anymore because they've lost their job due to COVID-19 and everything else. So, we're really sad and sorry that those people are in that situation. We completely understand. So we've been offering them full refunds, and hope that they can get back on their feet and join us next year and still continue to enjoy the hobby as much as possible. But the off-road park there in Attica, Indiana, the Badlands, is an amazing place. You wouldn't think that it is what it is unless you've been there. You really couldn't appreciate what it's all about. But they've got terrain ranging from mud to dirt to sand dunes, some of the biggest sand dunes I've ever seen in the middle of a state that's pretty much flat. They do have elevation changes. They have a really cool rental program there. You can rent side-by-sides and four-wheelers and all the good stuff. And I want to say it's almost 1,000 acres of terrain there. And so we're going to be taking over a small portion of the park, what's called the quarry. to where there are some rock ledges, elevation changes. There's woods there, so it'll be a really cool mix of different types of terrains. Of course, it's not the Sierra Nevada mountains where you've got the huge elevation changes and the big rocks and boulders, but there are still some rock features there, and so it'll be a good time. Really cool. We're hoping maybe some people that were going to plan on going out to Axial Fest out of Donner will be able to maybe change their plans and come join us in Indiana for the inaugural Axial Fest Badlands. And like I said, we had to move that one to July 16th through the 18th, just pushing it back a few weeks to kind of hopefully clear some things up. And the state of Indiana does have a phase plan too. They've actually assigned some dates to things, and they're well ahead of everybody else. I guess their COVID cases, they've seen a drastic reduction, so hopefully we continue to see that, and we'll be able to stay on course. Oh, Steve, you just dumped it behind the tent there, buddy.
Definitely dumped it. My bad. That's why it's
this is a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Actually, just cool, gentle pattern flying here.
You're doing great. I actually jumped off because I figured we'd lose viewers if you were so boring. Also, it was a little choppy. I don't know if it's because your internet, like the video stream, was a little choppy, so I just jumped back to me. But don't worry, people got to see you fly. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm still flying, just doing my Joe Nall. Left to right.
You're doing great, man. I'm proud of you.
Making sure. Yeah,
it's fantastic. So, all right. So you covered.
So never had a chance to actually fly at a Joe Nall, but I have been there, and it's a beautiful place, and it's really cool that Jim T came up with this. And I actually got in the plane in the cockpit seat of one of them and just kind of flew around to check everything out. And it's really cool that he was able to put all this together. And big shout out to him for being able to.
He's on the feed right now. He's on the stream now on Facebook, so he's listening in. Yeah, great job, Jim. This is super cool, and I'm glad that we're able to fly here today on the stream. I figured it kind of fit perfectly since you've got your virtual fly-in going on RCGroups. And if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to see what Jim has on RCGroups. You can check it out on the homepage. If you want to join and fly with other folks that are like-minded Joe Nall individuals, they're doing their virtual fly-in. But for now, this is just a private server for us flying on Real Flight 9. But you can use, I believe Jim said, Real Flight 7 through 9 to fly on this map. And he's put a ton of hours in on it, so definitely download it. Go to the Knife Edge Studios swap page. And again, all that information is on RCGroups where to download it. That's how I figured it out. Jim, of course, told me about it ahead of time a little bit, but super cool work. That's so, Andy, you didn't mention the last event that I guess I could cover a bit. I think, right? You covered everything else, didn't you? Or no?
Yeah, I just covered the basis on each one of those and why we had to change what we are, and bringing up the last one would be air meet.
Yeah, so the last one is air meet. I know a lot of our U.S. Listeners are probably, I heard of air meet, never been there, never plan on going there because it is in southern Germany. But for those of you that are watching, I know we do have a lot of EU guys that get to watch the stream. For air meet this year, because we're in southern Germany, in Donauwörth, Germany with it. It is challenging to have. There's also regulations there, as you might imagine. This is a global deal. So we're not able to have an event with, I believe the current rule is you can't be in public in an event with more people than your family plus one, which kind of rules out 25,000 screaming folks for air meet. But what we're going to do is something I don't believe ever been done before in the RC industry. And I'm happy to say that we're able to have the resources to be able to do something like this. But we are in the process of hiring the same folks who have produced events such as Red Bull Air Races and even an F1 race in Europe. And they're actually the same folks who do our sound at Air Meet every year. So it's a large company out there that does it. And they bring in this like wicked cool, and you've seen it, this wicked crane system to do the sound. So you can hear the sound at Air Meet from probably miles away, but they're a really good company. But they're going to be live streaming Air Meet this year. And we're bringing in, because we can get approvals to bring in folks for a commercial use only. So we're going to bring in and make sure all of our pilots are safe. But we're going to bring in a lot of our Austrian and German pilots. And we're going to fly... we're going to fly a full show. We're going to do a full Saturday Air Meet, which is the big day anyway at Air Meet. And you're going to get to see basically all the coolest airplanes in Europe. I mean, some of the most insane stuff that you've probably never seen. Some of the largest airplanes you've ever seen. And there's a tent right there I just crashed into. But we're going to be doing that. So it's going to be live streamed on Facebook. It's going to be live streamed on YouTube, and I'm hoping to get it onto Twitch as well for you gamers out there. We definitely are upset that we can't have a full air meet this year. And in the past, I think this would be the 12th or 13th year of air meet. We've never had to prevent that from happening, just like a lot of things are going on like that. But we are certainly excited to live stream it, so now everyone in the world can experience a little bit of what it's like to be at air meet. So it's going to be pretty darn exciting, and it will be free. It'll be a free stream. We'll still have some stuff for sale and whatnot, like cool beer steins and stuff. But
beer steins.
We're gonna be taking it to the next level, and I think it will set a precedent. And Andy and I have talked about this quite a bit for us, as far as how events should be done in the U.S. when it comes to Horizon signature events, and potentially live streaming all of our events at a professional level in the future when it comes to like demonstrations, and just getting more and more people into the hobby is kind of our goal with this. So pretty excited. Oh, I just bumped into Matt, I think. Yep. Pretty excited to be able to show off or to announce that. We'll have more information coming. And again, that's going to be the same Saturday that Air Meet was. So it'll be August 8th. But it will just be a one-day event, big extravaganza. Myself and Ali Machinchi will be commentating. I haven't told Ali yet, but he'll be commentating the European, the English version, and then we'll have Thilo Kramer, who's one of our EU sales employees, who actually is the voice of Air Meet. So he will be just like I'm the voice of RC Fest, but no, he'll be the guy on the German feed or the EU feed. And then I'll be along with Ali. Hopefully we'll be there in person, but if not, we'll be commentating from the US. So guys, if you've ever seen I don't know, e-gaming or you name it, we will try Red Bull Air Races. We will try to make it the coolest possible event for you. Even though, I mean, many of you in the US have probably never even been to Air Meet, just because it's so far away. But now you'll get to experience it really from a first-hand standpoint. It's unlike anything you've ever been to. It's unlike even Joe Nall. I mean, it's just an absolute incredible event. So as much as it stinks to not have it in person, I think it's going to be super cool to be able to live stream it. So that pretty much covers everything else. Andy, is there anything else I missed or that you wanted to talk about as far as events go?
No, I think we basically hit the nail on the head there. I reloaded my real flight and lowered the graphics down, but it's frozen on me now, so I'm like halfway in a takeoff here on my screen, so I don't know what it looks like on the server there. But I think one thing that this whole stay-at-home work.
Hey, Andy, hold on one second. Are you on headphones or no?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. Can you not hear me?
Matt, is that you reverbing maybe, or I don't know. Everybody else that's not talking, just try to mute. Maybe it's Dustin. It's hard to say. All right, try talking again, Andy.
Check 1 2 1 2. Everything going all right? Or is that me?
Sounds a little bit. Maybe just turn your volume down a bit. It may be coming through your headphones. Sometimes.
Oh man, he's costing people money.
It's not always easy to talk and fly, especially when you're trying to do like 4-point rolls.
No, I'm seriously, I'm dead in the water on.
That's okay.
I'm not sure what happened. I'm using 2 different computers too to hopefully. Yeah, I can see my plane on the screen there. It's like.
Yeah, you're just getting a little reverby. Okay, well, hey, I'm just going to answer a couple questions while you figure that out, Andy. So for those of you on the stream, yeah, we will try to answer as many questions as possible. So if you have a question for myself, Andrew Ziegler, or Matt Andrin, I don't think Dustin's able to get in the voice tonight, so he'll just, I don't know if he's there. If he's there, great. If not, no big deal. Matt is here, so if you guys have questions, throw them in the chat. I will say I don't have the fancy we use StreamYard for all this. I don't have the chat in front of me. So I'll have to just kind of look at my phone from here from time to time. So I may miss your question. I apologize, but I will do my best. So if you have questions on Real Flight or otherwise, we were just in the Horizon Hobby Air Hangout, and we were answering a ton of questions there. So just feel free to jump your questions in, and I will do my best to get to it. We wanted to first, obviously cover our events since that's an important topic, and then the rest of the half hour we can kind of answer some questions here. So I'm gonna try to get this L39. Oh, that's a really bumpy runway. All right, a little harder to land that thing at Mach 4. So let me pop up the questions here. I am watching. Oh, we got someone else joining. Dustin is here. Dustin, we are on streaming. Oh, can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to type to Dustin real quick. Dustin, we are in the StreamYard link in the meeting invite.
All right, Steve, is that any better?
Yeah, it sounds a lot better, buddy.
Okay.
All right, before you get started.
Just turned off real flight there, so.
Okay, well, before you get started, so let me just make sure we didn't miss any questions. I'm going to scroll back up. Does anyone use RealFlight on an Apple computer? In this group, I don't think any one of us do. I'm just going to put someone else on screen while I read these, so you're not bored. Matt, you're on camera. So on as far as RealFlight on Apple, we actually had the RealFlight team on last week, and we definitely realize that there's a lot of folks that want to fly on Apple or on Mac, but unfortunately, it's just not possible right now. And so if you do, you have to kind of do like some folks are doing parallels, but even the RealFlight guy said not everyone's had great success with that. So not a lot of folks have, but you can do it. It's not like it's, here's how to do it. It's relatively, it's not insanely difficult, but it's very possible to do. Let's see, I'm missing any questions here. Nope, I think that covers everything. Yeah, all right, Andy, let's get back to what you were talking about.
I've got a couple. I pulled up the feed on my phone here. Does it go without saying that there will not be an RC Fest this year? That is not correct. We are having RC Fest. It's moving out to October. Just to reiterate what we already talked about. October 2nd and 3rd are the new dates for RC Fest. For Mark to ask there.
You're on Facebook, aren't you? Hey, why don't you, if you're in front of your computer, just pull up the StreamYard. Oh, you can't see comments, can you?
No, because I'm just in as the.
Well, you know what? I might be.
Justin said he's here, but.
Okay, he's not. Oh, he is in StreamYard. Hey, I had to add you in, Duddy.
There he is.
Hey, I'm here now.
Man, okay. All right. Yeah, I should have had two computers running for this. All right, next week, guys, I'll be better. But we'll have two computers running. Guys, this is gonna be hard for me to run, but that or I'll have like Dustin run his side of it. But anyway, all right, Dustin, welcome to.
What do you need to know, Steve?
So no, nothing. I just I need someone monitoring YouTube comments and someone monitoring Facebook comments, because right now I have YouTube pulled up on my cell phone. So if somebody else could have the Facebook one pulled up, we'll make sure we cover everybody. I'm gonna jump back into the game.
I can get the Facebook one pulled up real quick.
Okay. Yeah, just have Facebook pulled up on your phone. I'm watching YouTube comments as best as I can. There's not a whole lot of comments on YouTube currently that I can see, so we'll keep it at that. I'm trying to figure out how to watch that again. The new YouTube app, has anyone been playing with that? It's a little funky, I want to say. But for some reason, I can't see the comments. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we'll keep going.
I've got a question for Dustin. Go ahead. Dustin, how many years have you attended Joe Nall?
Oh, wow. I started Joe Nall in 2006, I want to say. And I think I made it pretty much every year since then. So kind of bummed out that we're not there. But, it's better to be safe. There's
absolutely.
Rather go there at the, if we do something at the end of the year, or we'll be there next year.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that all this has come up and it's put a huge damper on the event season, and weather's starting to break finally and time to get outside, and it's like you can't even gather. But I guess this is a close third or fourth on the list to be able to get together and fly with your buddies, and especially at Joe Nall with what Jim T's put together. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just downloaded the field that Jim put together. It's amazing. Loving this, and I plan to participate in the RCGroups live feed, later tonight even and beyond. So
What's
thanks to Jim
tonight?
for setting that up. And, it's not the same, but, we're going to make the best out of it. So hope to see everyone there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one thing from when I first went to a Joe Nall, it was 2012, I believe. Never been before. Had flown airplanes and stuff, but always been on the surface side of things, and showed up there and saw the massiveness of all the RVs and everything parked everywhere, and the people and all the different flight lines, and going from one flight line to another. Then actually had a chance to walk out on the flight line, and I noticed all these bare feet out there, and I'm like, why are these people without shoes on out here? I was like, interesting. It's like, that's the most pristine grass runway that will rival any golf course in the world, I do believe. And for it to be how many ever feet long is absolutely amazing. So it's like, oh, now I know why all these people are barefoot out here, have flip-flops on and kick them off when they're standing in the pilot station. And it's an amazing experience. And I actually tent camped. And the first night, there were some thunderstorms roll through. So I'm laying there looking up through the window, and I'm back in the trees behind the hangar, kind of down by the lake a little bit, tucked in behind some campers, and thunderstorm starts rolling through. I'm just watching the lightning. I'm like, what am I doing here in this out in the middle of nowhere? And thankfully it just blew over. And then it was probably about, I want to say 5:15, 5:30 in the morning. You hear, what in the world is going on here? Oh, the Dawn Patrol waking everybody up. It was cool. So I grabbed my phone and ran out there, and the dew on the runway was still there. You could see where they were taking off and people were walking. It's an experience unlike any that I've ever had before. It's an amazing place.
It's really cool. And that camping experience, I certainly have one of those myself, tent camping experience. It had to have been, 2009. My wife, Jessica, came along. We went to the event, and we were tent camping. I'm going to say that was our very early on in our relationship. So just very interesting that we would go tent camping in the cold, air mattress deflated. Oh, and by the way, she was pregnant. So she's definitely a trooper. She's a keeper. So we are coming up on our anniversary at the end of the month. Oh man, she's looking at me right now. This is really awkward. How many years, honey?
No, you tell me.
Where's that sign on the wall? Dang it. The pressure's on. 11 years. I got it right.
Awesome.
So,
but now you guys have a camper, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
No more tents.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that.
So yeah, Joe Nall is one of those events that you take your family to, and you go see your extended family, your airplane family. So,
and that's a lot like Axial Fest is on the surface side in the crawler and scale community. It's a destination that's out in the mountains, and it's a little bit about the RC aspect and a little bit of competition here and there, but it's more about the families, the friends, the fellowship, everybody getting together and having a good time, sharing a passion and a hobby that they love. And just like Axial Fest at Joe Nall, people book their vacations around this time, and this is their family vacation. So the way things are right now, it's difficult to have to move and cancel these events, but we're kind of held against the coals and really not be able to do much else. And so we're trying to do what we can by moving these events out so we can hopefully still have a relevance of some sort for people to get together and do it, but it just won't be the same. And, not knowing what the new normal will be going forward, we might have to make some adaptations, but we're going to do everything that we can to provide the opportunity for people to get together at our events. And nice midair.
Ooh, I love that.
Man, you killed the Riley B at Joe Nall. That's not a good sign.
Another great memory of Joe Nall for me was flying the Riley B. I believe that's in the simulator being flown right now. I was fortunate enough Chuck asked me to fly one of the original ones while David Payne and Allie flew the other models. And I believe we had 3 of them up at one time. It was really cool.
Wow,
You know,
that's a
smoke
lot
on.
of hours flying in the air at one time.
Yeah.
Man, do you know how
Yeah, and
long
those
it took him
airplanes.
to build this airplane, or no?
I don't.
The best thing is all 3 of them are completely different. All 3 of them have different engines, different finishes. His woodwork is, I mean, you got to see it up close. It's beautiful. It's stained natural wood on these things. I mean, they're incredible models.
Hey Matt, hit the V key. You're still talking in real flight too.
Is that any better?
No, I still hear you. That's weird. Okay,
It
it's just
was
a little
better
bit
for
of
me.
an echo. Is it? Okay.
He sounds good to me.
Okay. Maybe I'm just a wacky one hearing it twice. That's weird. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, no, you're right. It's absolutely, and they're on display at Toledo and or they were. Toledo didn't happen this year either, but when they are, it's just it's always a beautiful plane to see, and the fact that he has more than one is absolutely incredible. And this one that I think is in the game is the original one, I believe.
Actually, I think he's on his teens in terms of Riley B's. He started out small to get the concept down, and then just got bigger and bigger and bigger. I think he started out with like maybe call it a 40 sizes, something small, just make sure the aerodynamics work before he spent, all that time and effort on what turned out to be just amazing models.
Wow. I don't know why I'm getting your voice twice. I'm just going to try to mute. No, whatever. It's okay. It's okay. It's not that bad. People can still hear you. All right. So we got I know this is a short stream compared to the Air Hangout. We got started a little late, but overall, guys, this is an every week occurrence, and I think we're going to be moving the time slot just a little bit so that folks have a little bit more time, especially as things get back to normal and many of us are back in the office. We're going to move this Real Flight Hangout to probably Thursday sometime afternoon and let the Air Hangout happen on Friday. Just so that everyone has their own time slot. We're not back to back, but yeah, we've been having fun doing this, and we finally got it working on StreamYard, and it's a little bit jumpy right now, and we'll figure out the whole process here. The weird thing is I have to be in game to use it, but then in the browser for StreamYard to work for all the comments section. So I think we'll manage. I'll have a secondary computer set up tomorrow. Or next time we do this for next week, and it'll be much better. Hopefully, we'll all have cameras and stuff too. But overall, I hope you guys on YouTube are enjoying it. I know you haven't really seen it yet. I'm doing a retract Riley B now. No more landing gear. Sweet. It just has the wing strut going down. Now that's exciting right there. Look at that. Hey, they would look good with retracts. I'm just saying. He needs another version.
We'll have to get Chuck working on that.
Yeah, just a flat wing retract Riley B. So Matt, I know this week there was a pretty big announcement for E-Flight. I know you didn't specifically work on it. I don't believe. I could be wrong. I know we just had Gary on the Air Hangout. We were talking about the new Timber X, but I know the Timber kind of was your spawn early on. I mean, what are some of your thoughts on the new Timber X Night Flyer?
Well, I did kind of do the initial Timber X design. Myself and David Payne did a lot of work on that to make sure we got the proportions right, got enough control surface to do all the fun stuff, and almost kind of like we did with the Night Vision Air. It just made sense to make it a night flyer. It's got hollow wing and a hollow fuselage that makes it really nice and easy to adapt to night flying, and it just gives it one more thing it can do. It's got tons of power on 3 or 4S, so it just gives it that one extra bit of versatility, which allows it to fly even more. So
yeah, it's been pretty good launch so far. I know folks want to see the Draco, of course, but we don't know when something like that might come out in the future. I know we hinted at working with Mike Patey, but we're gonna leave it at that. I know there's plenty of folks who just want to see the next best airplane from Horizon, and for now, guys, you're just gonna have to kind of wait it out. I appreciate everyone's excitement for a potential Mike Patey design aircraft to come from Horizon, but just hang tight. I know we teased it at Oshkosh last year, but like I said in the other stream, just hold your breath and it'll be here before you know it, but not anytime soon. So
I would also mention definitely go check out Mike Patey's channel if you haven't on YouTube. He's working on Scrappy constantly. He does updates all the time. His landing gear system that he just did a video on looks ridiculous. This thing is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think if you're interested in aviation, and if you're just an RC guy, you're probably interested in just things that fly. Ultimately the stuff that Patey is doing is just incredible. He's an inspiration from a work ethic standpoint, from a design standpoint, and just aviation in general. It's pretty darn impressive. So definitely go ahead and check that out if you haven't, like Matt said. I'm going to answer a quick question here. Hey guys, I was wanting to know if there was a way y'all could let customers know about aircraft that will soon not be sold on Horizon Hobby. I'm slowly trying to save for a new E-Flight aircraft. Well, this actually came up in the stream before. So Wesley, you were asking that in the chat just now. Yeah, I think, as much as we would love to, it's a little difficult for us to kind of say, hey, by the way, in the next 4 months, this is going away. You can kind of, you'll never really know. We look at all the things. We look at the sales velocity of products. We talked a lot about this in the last hangout. We look at sales velocity, we look at minimum order quantity from the vendors that we get the stuff that we buy it from. There's a lot of factors that go into a discontinuation, and by no means are we wanting to ever discontinue. I know Dustin could probably speak to this very well, but by no means are we ever sitting there going, you know what, let's upset a customer and get rid of a product. What we are doing is looking out for Horizon as a company. Obviously, we're looking out for our vendors, and we're looking out for the brand as a whole. We want to keep stuff around forever, but unfortunately the nature of the beast we can't. And as far as like giving folks a heads up, it's just really tough to do that. And I know it seems like, well, why ahead of time? It's like, yeah, we do. But if we said, hey, by the way, these are running out to 3 days from now, people would either decide not to buy it. And it's not that we're trying to hide our hand. What we do is we actually bring in product parts and support for that product, so that when it does indeed run out, there's still parts available. Now, ultimately, at some point, there's going to be no parts for certain products. But we try our best to continue to support every product we have for quite a while after its discontinuation. So I hope that kind of answers your question as cleanly as I can. I know it's not the best answer that you probably want to hear. You probably want to hear, oh yeah, good idea, we haven't thought about that yet. But unfortunately, that's definitely not the way the world works. But I think, Wesley, if you're looking for an airplane that you're worried about it getting discontinued, don't. Because even if let's say you bought something and tomorrow we discontinued it, you're going to have parts available for a while. And if you buy something that's been recently released, you're going to see that product in our lineup for quite a while, potentially years to come. If it's like a Timber, I mean, the original Timber is since been replaced by a Turbo Timber. But the Timber is a strong lineup product. It's not going anywhere. We may update it, just like Ford updates the F-150. But it's this stuff like that where we're gonna improve upon, and we'll still continue to support the existing models as much as we can. So don't worry about buying something and then being out of luck on parts or whatever. Oh, I was just trying to land. You took me out.
And I will say, even from a developer point of view, seeing one of your projects that you work so hard on eventually get discontinued, which does happen.
Mm-hmm.
As a modeler, it's kind of it hurts.
Yeah, I know.
You want to see those things live forever, but unfortunately they can't.
Right. It is the nature of the hobby. So let's see. I'm gonna try to fly and read my phone at the same time. Will there ever be a UMX Timber X? Well, you know what? I'll let Dustin take this, but my comment is we can never show our hand of what's coming out. But Dustin, do you have any other comments there on that?
Good one, Steve. Yeah, we unfortunately can't reveal our hand.
Yeah, so just hang tight, guys. You never know. We cannot confirm nor deny, but we'll say the Timber is a popular product, and it's very possible that there are new versions coming. But I can't say unequivocally yes, a UMX Timber X is coming down the road. Nor can I say any other products coming out, just because I wouldn't have a job on Monday. So, nor would any one of us on the stream. So we take our confidentiality pretty seriously when it comes to new products, just like any product company out there. But yeah, I mean, you guys can do some of the math behind the scenes and see, wow, Horizon's invested a lot in the timber, and potentially there could be more models coming out. But again, I can't specifically say what's coming out down the road, unfortunately. I wish I could, because then people would like me more, but that's okay. Let's see. What other questions? I'm saving for the UMX 182. Oh, that's not going away anytime soon. I need to upgrade my sim. Still flying off the G2. Wow, that's impressive. You're still on Real Flight G2. Yeah, man. If you're, I've started to fly on the G3, and I will say the game or the simulator has improved quite a bit overall. Just even the number of models and the type of fields you can get and the different functionalities. But at the end of the day, you're still flying a great simulator. You're still flying Real Flight. And man, I can't seem to fly and talk right now. I think it's because it's the end of the day. Also, I'm not flying in real high rates. That would help. But all right. Any other questions on the Facebook side, Dustin? I'm just reading YouTube comments right now.
Yeah, I don't have anything that. What version is this?
We're on
Real Flight 9.
Yeah, Real Flight 9. Again, this map that Jim T at RCGroups made is available for Real Flight 7 through 9. So you can fly whichever one you have in this map specifically. And I'm just flying some Park Master with a weird scheme on it right now. I didn't realize this was a scheme in the game. I have not downloaded schemes for this airplane. But it's cute. It's like a puppy scheme. Did they ever come out with the
Hey,
UMX?
Steve, I recall that Jim might have disabled like paintball and all that in this field. Is that true, or is that only in his live session?
I don't know, but we can look.
I'm just wondering. There's a few people, saying, what's the password? How do we fly with you? I mean, that's your call.
Yeah, I typically
where I'm going.
No, I know. Yeah, you can. No, we can turn it all on. I have to go here in a bit, but I typically don't open up this stream for a bunch of folks, just so we don't get someone putting smoke on the field and all that. I know we can turn all that off, but I try to keep this to as close to like a podcast as possible, where it's just us chatting. I know people want to fly with us, I really do, but sometimes after the fact we do open it up. So I can leave the server up. Or Dustin, you can start a new one if you wanted to fly with other folks. I mean, I guess it comes down to if anyone wants to sit around and keep flying with people. I'm obviously more than happy to do that.
How about we, after we end here, I'll go over to Jim T's server.
There you go.
And I'll hang out there for a little bit while dinner's cooking.
Okay, that works. Yeah, so guys, if you're wanting to fly with any of the guys here, I know Dustin just said he'd go, but if
did you guys hear that?
We will have. You can go to the RCGroups, just go to rcgroups.com and you'll see the Joe Nall virtual fly-in, and you can see all the information there. But you can also just look up the server information on when you're on Real Flight. Just go into the multiplayer section and check that out. I believe that's probably the best set of instructions on how to get there. Andy, you still with us?
Hey guys, I'm going to see if I can keep hanging out.
We've been just chatting away without
put you back with.
That's okay.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, I appreciate you coming on today, Andy. I know this is kind of a short notice for you, and you've been kind of working round the clock to make sure our events happen the best way they can in this crazy year. So thank you for all your hard work in the last couple of weeks. And I know even before that, you were kind of thinking about this. So good job in communicating all the changes, communicating to our vendors. And I'm really excited to see what we come up with as we kind of have to change how we do everything, stuff like this Real Flight stream, or even how we do events in the future. We'll keep it going, and I know you will do a great job at that. So good job, and thanks for joining us tonight.
I appreciate it. Now, we set out to work on our 2020 plan. We never had any inclination, or we've never really even had a thought of what we would do in a situation like this, because it really never crossed anybody's mind. And weather's one thing, and little things here and there, can control and dictate events, but never do we ever think that we would have to do what we've been doing. And that goes to say without anything, having to work from home and making those readjustments here. And, if you got kids at home, you're trying to work, you're trying to help your kids with their school because they're school from home. And it's just been a big change for everybody. And, like I said before, we don't really know what the new normal is going to be. So That's why we're trying to do everything that we can to still be able to try to host as many events as possible, to have a place where people can come together and enjoy this great hobby. And it's been a lot of work for sure, and a lot of sleepless nights, and a lot of people upset about it. But like I said, we don't really have any control over it, and we do this because we want people to enjoy the hobby, and so it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, and I think the solutions, and if you just joined us, make sure to check out our Facebook page, the Horizon Hobby Facebook page specifically.
All right,
I know
man.
some of you are watching on the Real
Thank you.
Flight page right now. But check out the Horizon Hobby page. Man, I just can't fly and talk. But we've got all the event announcement information there. Andy and I did like a little bit of a recording together where we chatted about it. So check that out if you're interested. If you've been to those events, make sure to check out the changes that we've made. I think most of them for the better of everybody involved. Obviously, the postponement of Axial Fest Donner is hurt. Hurts a little bit, but I think it's the best thing overall. But everything else is going to happen this year. Fingers crossed. Just a little bit different dates. So, but yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Sorry, it's a little choppy here and there. We'll work on that. It was the first time we've tried streaming through StreamYard, and I think it's not loving it. So I may go back to just doing my my NVIDIA stream that is on Facebook and figure out a way to stream that over to YouTube so it's a little crisper. I don't know if this is the best way to stream a video game through StreamYard because it's more of a screen share than like an overlay. So we'll work on that. But overall, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight for this 1 hour short stream. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Dustin. Thanks, Matt. Everybody else that was able to join us. I think that was everybody. And then, for those of you that want to fly with Dustin, he's going to be over at the RCGroups live or the RCGroups virtual Joe Nall fly-in. And again, I'm going to show you on screen real quick. You're going to go to multiplayer and then go to join. And I can't click it because we're in a game. Click on this join button here. And you'll be able to then see the RCGroups virtual Joe Nall fly-in stuff. And if you need more information on that, go to rcgroups.com and check it out there. But with that, everybody, I appreciate it. Have a great night. I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream down here in a moment. And first, I got to land this plane because that's important. So everyone gets to judge my last landing.
Don't crash.
No pressure. No pressure. Can't really even see it. And this 3D line is super bumpy. Oh, that's good. I'll take that.
Nicely done.
Perfect. All right.